You guys, picture this. It's a crisp spring morning in rural Tennessee, and you're rushing out the door, lunchbox in hand, ready for a big day at school. Your brother hears a scream, glances out the kitchen window, and sees you walking into the woods with a stranger in camo. Then, poof, you're gone. Like you never existed. That's the nightmare Holly Bobo lived on April 13th, 2011. A disappearance that tore a small town to pieces. A young woman snatched from her own driveway, her fate a haunting mystery for years. And what gets me every single time? In 2025, with new appeals, podcasts, and locals still whispering about it, the truth is still a shadow, leaving you wondering if justice was ever served. This case will give you full-body chills, the kind that make you double-check your locks. So stick with me. We're diving deep into a story that's equal parts heartbreaking and horrifying, where a quiet country life turned into a hunt for answers that might never come. Let's set the stage. Parsons, Tennessee, 2011, a sleepy little town in Decatur County where folks wave at neighbors and life revolves around church, hunting, and family cookouts. Holly Lynn Bobo, born October 12, 1990, was the heart of her family. Her dad, Dana, was a construction worker, steady and proud. Her mom, Karen, taught elementary school, always nurturing. And her older brother, Clint, was her biggest cheerleader. Holly, at 20, was the golden girl, blonde, blue-eyed, with a smile that could light up Darden, their tiny rural community. She was a nursing student at UT Martin, studying hard to become an RN, dreaming of saving lives. Music was her escape. She'd sing with her cousin, country star Whitney Duncan, at local gigs, her voice carrying that sweet southern twang. Holly lived at home, a cozy house off a long wooded driveway, surrounded by dense forests perfect for hunting. Her boyfriend, Drew Scott, was a local guy who loved turkey season, and they'd spend weekends outdoors. Darden felt safe, like a bubble untouched by big city crime. But beneath the surface, Decatur County had issues, a growing meth problem, shady characters drifting through. The Bobos' secluded home, idyllic as it was, sat vulnerable, with trees hiding it from the road. Holly's life was simple. School, family, music, no enemies, no drama. That small-town safety? It was a mirage, and it was about to shatter in the worst way. Okay, brace yourselves. This is where it gets heavy. April 13th, 2011, starts like any other day. Holly's up at 4:30 a.m., cramming for nursing exams, her lunchbox packed with a sandwich and snacks. Around 7:40 a.m., she heads to her car in the garage. Clint, home sick with a cold, hears a scream from the carport. He looks out the kitchen window and sees Holly walking into the woods behind the house, arm in arm with a man in camouflage. He's 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, dressed like a hunter. Clint assumes it's Drew, same build, same vibe for turkey season. He overhears the man say, "No." "Why?" in a low voice. And Holly doesn't seem scared, so Clint doesn't panic. A neighbor's dog is barking like crazy, and another neighbor later reports hearing a gunshot around that time. Clint calls Karen at work, who asks if Drew's truck is in the driveway. It's not. Karen tries Holly's phone, straight to voicemail. Clint steps outside, spots blood on the garage floor, maybe a couple of tablespoons. His stomach drops. He calls 911 at 7:57 a.m., voice shaking. The search explodes. Neighbors, police, dogs, helicopters swarm Darden. Holly's purse, keys, and lunchbox are left behind, her car untouched. The blood's hers, but it's not enough to suggest a fatal injury. No struggle in the woods, No broken branches, no footprints. Clint's story shifts slightly in retellings. First, he says Holly was kneeling with the man, then walking, sparking questions about his memory under stress. The family's gutted. Karen collapses, sobbing. Dana races home, frantic. Whitney Duncan cancels her tour to join the search. Over 1,000 volunteers comb forests, rivers, and fields for weeks. Leads pour in. A white truck speeding nearby, a man in camo spotted on back roads. But nothing sticks. Months drag into years, hope fading like a bad dream. Then on September 7th, 2014, hunters in Scotts Hill, 20 miles away, find human remains, a skull with a bullet hole, jaw, ribs, and leg bones. Dental records confirm it's Holly. Cause of death: gunshot to the head. The disappearance is now a murder, and the question burns. Who took her? The investigation was a roller coaster, and not the fun kind. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, TBI, took the lead, with FBI backup turning Darden upside down. Early leads pointed to locals. Drew Scott was questioned fast. His build matched Clint's description, but he was hunting 40 miles away, alibi solid. Then there was Terry Britt, a convicted sex offender who gave everyone the creeps. Britt, in his 40s, had long hair, a voice matching Clint's account, and a rap sheet for stalking blonde women. He lived 10 miles from the Bobos, collected news clippings on Holly, and even changed his appearance post-disappearance, cutting his hair and ditching his truck. Cops searched his property, found nothing concrete, no DNA, no murder weapon. He was ruled out, but locals still whisper about him. By 2013, the case went cold, tearing at the Bobos. Karen clung to Holly's Bible. Dana led searches. Clint grappled with guilt for not acting faster. Then, in March 2014, a break. Jason Autry, a local with drug charges, flipped to avoid jail. He claimed he helped Zach Adams, a 29-year-old with a meth-dealing rap, dispose of Holly's body. Zach, his brother Dylan, and friend Shane Austin were arrested. Autry's story was wild. Zach kidnapped Holly from her driveway, took her to his grandma's house, where he, Dylan, and Shane raped her. When she tried to escape, Zach shot her by the Tennessee River to silence her. They wrapped her in a blanket, dumped her in the woods. Autry got immunity for talking. Dylan, who has an IQ of 70 and learning disabilities, gave a confession. Zach shot her in the head, but his family screamed coercion, saying TBI pressured him. Shane Austin killed himself before trial, leaving a note denying involvement. No physical evidence tied Zach to Holly, no DNA, no gun, no blanket. The case hung on Autry's word and jailhouse snitches like Rebecca Earp, who claimed Zach bragged he'd put her in a hole like Holly. The community split. Some saw Zach as a monster, others as a scapegoat in a desperate case. The 2017 trial was a circus. Zach Adams faced charges of kidnapping, rape, and first-degree murder. The prosecution leaned hard on Autry's graphic testimony, painting Zach as a cold-blooded predator. They brought in inmates like Earp, who said Zach threatened to tie her up like Holly and put her in a hole. Defense attorneys fired back. No forensics, no witnesses to the crime itself. Just a shaky story from a deal-cutting snitch. Dylan's confession? Tainted by his disability and TBI's heavy-handed tactics. Clint's shifting story didn't help. Was he confused or hiding something? The jury convicted Zach in September 2017. Life without parole plus 50 years. Dylan took an offered plea in 2018, getting 35 years for facilitating murder and kidnapping. Autry walked free, his deal sealed. The Bobos exhaled. Karen and Dana felt justice, but Clint stayed quiet, haunted. Locals were torn. Some cheered, others whispered the real killer was still out there. Terry Britt's name kept popping up in bars and churches. His creepy obsession with Holly fueling theories. The lack of DNA gnawed at everyone. Was this a rush to close a case that gripped the nation? The verdicts didn't end the fight. Zach appealed in 2018, claiming ineffective counsel and coerced witnesses. Dylan's family pushed for his release, citing his low IQ and manipulated confession. The bombshell dropped in 2024. Jason Autry recanted. In a court TV interview, he admitted, "I made it all up," claiming TBI coached him to avoid drug charges. He's now serving 19 years on unrelated federal gun charges, but his flip shook the case. Zach's new legal team, backed by private investigators, filed for a retrial in August 2025, arguing Autry's lies tainted the conviction. The hearing recessed to November 2025, per court TV updates. The Bobo family split. Karen and Dana held firm, believing Zach's guilty, but cousins like Whitney questioned if the truth was buried. Decatur County felt the ripple effects. Trust in the TBI and local police tanked. Neighbors eyed each other warily. Holly's story sparked Holly's Law in Tennessee, tightening penalties for sexual assault and funding victim support. Annual vigils in Darden drew hundreds, with Karen reading Holly's favorite Bible verses. The town's innocence was gone, replaced by suspicion and news vans that never seemed to leave. In 2025, Holly's case is a fire that won't die. An August KBSI report detailed Zach's appeal, with Autry's recantation raising eyebrows. A July Tennessean piece called it the case that scarred Decatur County forever, noting how it fractured community bonds. The podcast, What Happened to Holly Bobo, in May 2025, interviewed Karen, who broke down recalling Holly's laugh and dug into new evidence like cell phone pings never fully explored. Bill Thomas, from the Colonial Parkway case, linked with the Bobos to push for cold case reforms. Reddit threads in 2025 buzz with theories. Was Terry Britt the real killer? His profile too perfect to ignore? Did the TBI frame Zach to close a high-profile case? Posts on X echo the split. Some call Zach a victim, others point to his violent past. The Justice for Holly Facebook page, with 20,000 followers, shares updates, urging followers to write prosecutors. Holly's memory drives change. Schools teach safety. Churches host talks on predatory behavior. With DNA tech advancing and appeals ongoing, there's a flicker of hope, but the truth feels just out of reach. So, who took Holly Bobo? Was it Zach Adams, a convenient fall guy, or someone like Terry Britt still lurking? This case is a gut punch, a young woman's dreams stolen in a heartbeat. If it gave you chills, hit like, share, drop your theories in the comments. Subscribe for more mysteries that'll keep you up at night. Stay safe. Even quiet mornings can hide monsters.